I think it is wrong for Arsenal fans to be excited about their UEFA Champions League draw against Bayern Munich. Since yesterday, when the Gunners found out that they had drawn FC Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League, there has been a bit of excitement around the Arsenal crowd, but I do think it perhaps may be misguided, especially in the context or in the grand context of things. Well, here is why I think it is wrong. Anyway, Robert K. Sarkozy is my name, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. So, for starters, Bayern Munich have all the pedigree in this UEFA Champions League running. As far as the two sides are compared, Arsenal are completely no match for Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich have won the title a whopping 6 times, while Arsenal are yet to record their first. They've only made it to a single final in which they lost by 2-1 against Barcelona back in 2006. That was played in Paris in France. We all remember that game. Jens Lehmann being given a red card and Robert Pires sacrificed for the substitute in Manuel Almunia. Yes, that was the game that Arsenal lost, and that was their only Champions League final. Whereas for Bayern Munich, they've won it even in recent times, most recently being the one that they won in 2020 when they beat up against PSG in the finals. When you rewind things a little back, they had won it in 2013 when they beat up against Borussia Dortmund. The Dortmund were still under the charges of Jurgen Klopp, while I think Bayern Munich were under the charges of Jupp Heynckes. The Bayern Munich beat Borussia Dortmund by 2-1 to win it. And so, when you rewind it a little further back, they had also won it in 2001 when they beat Valencia 5-4 on penalties that preceded a 1-1 draw in normal time. So clearly, Bayern Munich do hold the pedigree as compared to this Arsenal side. So the other times that, of course, that Bayern Munich did win it were as far back as, I think, 1974, 75, and 76. So clearly, the pedigree is on their side. Ever since the draw was made yesterday, of course, the UEFA Champions League quarterfinal draws, as well as those of the Europa League, but we will focus on those of the UEFA Champions League, where Real Madrid were pitted up against Manchester City, while Arsenal, of course, got Bayern Munich. PSG got Barcelona, while Atletico Madrid got Borussia Dortmund. But the most trending topics around the quarterfinal draws, at least from where I'm standing, have revolved around Arsenal and FC Bayern Munich. Why? Because Arsenal fans think now is the perfect time to revenge against Bayern Munich, because practically speaking, Arsenal are in a better shape as compared to Bayern Munich themselves. So, as far as Arsenal fans are concerned, they think this is the perfect time for Arsenal to revenge against Bayern Munich for that 10-2 aggregate score that Bayern Munich recorded as they eliminated them from the competition at the round of 16 in the 2016-2017 season. We all remember the agony on Arsene Wenger's side. We all remember that weak Arsenal side that had Laurent Koscielny, who was also given a red card in the fixture at the Emirates Stadium when Arsenal had been leading by a goal, I think by halftime, thanks to Theo Walcott. But when we came back in the second half, Koscielny in the 53rd minute was given a red card. Bayern Munich got a penalty that was scored, I think, by Robert Lewandowski, and then they went on to a rout, scoring 4. So they won that one 5-1. Arturo Vidal in that Bayern Munich midfield scored 2 goals, I think in the 80th and 85th minute. So those we're talking about a Bayern Munich that had Xabi Alonso, currently the manager of Bayer Leverkusen, a Bayern Munich side that had Arjen Robben, Frank Ribery, Robert Lewandowski, Thomas Muller. I think they had Javier Martinez in that defense. They had Matt Hummels. They had David Alaba there, Manuel Neuer in goal. While on the other side, Arsenal, I think, had Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. They had Aaron Ramsey, Olivier Giroud in that squad. Mesut Ozil, I think, was on the bench for that particular game. In defense, they had, of course, Loic Koscielny, Shkodran Mustafi, Hector Bellerin, and was at left back. But I remember in goal it was David Ospina. So Theo Walcott in that team and Alexis Sanchez as well in that very squad. So that's the team that lost to Bayern Munich by 10-2 on aggregate. So Arsenal fans do think now is the time for them to revenge against Bayern Munich for that score. But then what does the record say? The record still has it that Arsenal and Bayern Munich have met 4 times at the round of 16 in the UEFA Champions League, and out of all those, Bayern Munich have edged Arsenal on all occasions. Now, of course, the other meetings that the two sides had were in the group stages. So, out of those, there was a 10-2 aggregate, there was a 3-3 aggregate for which Arsenal were eliminated based on away goals rule, then among other results. So clearly, Bayern Munich do have the edge over this Arsenal side. Overall meetings have been 12. Bayern Munich have won 7. There have been 2 draws, and Arsenal have won 3 times. They did meet in the season of 2000 and 2001. I think in the group stages, it was Group C. Then they met at the round of 16, I think in 2004, 2005. So, Bayern Munich do edge the side. Now, of course, the fixture does come at a time when Arsenal do look, like I said, to be in a better shape as compared to Bayern Munich, who actually have one single motivation, that this is the only real major trophy that they are fighting for. Because I do not think, unless a miracle happens, that they will, beat Bayer Leverkusen to the Bundesliga title this season. And we all know it has already been cast in stone that they have agreed to part ways with manager Thomas Tuchel at the end of the season. So clearly, they will be out for blood in this one. It hasn't looked pretty for them this season so far, but in the UEFA Champions League, although they've been conceding goals, they've been winning. Of course, they did lose to Lazio in the first leg of the round of 16, but managed to win that fixture or that tie in the return leg by 3-0. So that is how they find themselves in the quarterfinals. And they do have a manager who won this title in 2021 when he was at Chelsea, when Chelsea beat up against Manchester City by 1-0. We all remember that Kai Havertz goal that won the title for Chelsea as they won their second UEFA Champions League title. So, clearly, as far as history is concerned, pedigree and everything, I think Bayern Munich do hold the advantage. And that's why I think that Arsenal fans should not hold the excitement of this being the perfect time for them to revenge against FC Bayern Munich. Because the fixture in itself does come for Arsenal in what will be quite a very busy month of April. Because March 31st, they will be playing against Manchester City in the Premier League. Then they will play Luton Town at home. Then they will play Brighton on April 6th because Luton is on April 3rd, while Manchester City is on 31st. So you can see those are 3 games in a space of 7 days. Those are 3 fixtures. So after playing Brighton at the Amex Stadium, it is then that they will host Bayern Munich at the Emirates Stadium on April 9th. Then on April 13th, they will be at home against Aston Villa. You can imagine, that's the kind of run of fixtures that they will be having, and that will be just midway April. And on April 17th, then they will travel to the Allianz Arena for the return leg. And on April 20th, they will be back in England to play against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League, and that game will be away from home at the Amex Stadium. So those are 2 away consecutive fixtures. Those are the kind of fixtures that take it all on a squad. Then after that, on depending, I think between either April 23rd or April 24th, Arsenal will then play Chelsea in a rescheduled fixture of the Premier League that was supposed to be played this weekend, but Chelsea are going to be engaged in the FA Cup. So that game has been postponed. And then on April 27th, they will play Tottenham Hotspurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's a London derby, an away game. Very, very crucial game as far as the running for the Premier League title is concerned. Will Arsenal crumble at this point? We'll wait to see. And then, should they be able to get past Bayern Munich? Should they, if they are to go past Bayern Munich, they will have to meet either of Real Madrid or Manchester City in the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. And that fixture, the first fixture, will be slated for April 30th or May 1st, depending on how things go. So, and then after that, they will have to play Bournemouth on May 4th, and then the return leg for the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. So, if you are an Arsenal fan, do let me know what you think about that run of fixture. If you do think, actually, this is your perfect time to revenge against FC Bayern Munich in the UEFA Champions League. Of course, like I said, Arsenal, they do have a chance because Bayern Munich, it's not a really brilliant season for them. But then the other key battle still is Harry Kane, a former Tottenham captain. We all know the rivalry between Arsenal and Tottenham in that London derby, or the Battle of London. Biggest rivalry in London football, or as far as the Premier League is concerned. And also one of the biggest fixtures of the English football. I think I would put them in second as far as those rivalries are concerned. There is a Manchester United versus Liverpool, biggest rivalry, I do think, in the history of English football. Then Arsenal, Tottenham, I'll put them in second. Then you have a Manchester United, Man City, but that has sort of picked pace in recent years when Manchester City started winning titles. You have Liverpool, Everton, the Merseyside derby. There is one of Newcastle up against Sunderland, I think in the Midlands or something like that, and all those kinds of things. So clearly, that tells you the importance of this fixture to Harry Kane as an individual and Eric Dyer, both who are former Tottenham players. So there's also that element. And then maybe on the other side for this Arsenal side, as far as things go, the brighter side for Arsenal is that Bayern Munich will not be allowed to have away fans at the Emirates Stadium when the two sides meet on April 9th. Why? Because Bayern Munich were banned to have away fans for the unsporting incidences by their fans during the 3-0 victory against Lazio at the Allianz Arena as they knocked them out at the round of 16. So clearly there's that. And then the other advantage for Arsenal that they may look to pick inspiration on is the fact that Bayern Munich have been knocked out of the UEFA Champions League at the quarter-final stage for the last 3 consecutive years. 2020-2021 season, they were knocked out by PSG. 2021-2022, they were knocked out by Villarreal. I think Villarreal were under the charges of then Unai Emery, former PSG, former Arsenal manager, who is now at Aston Villa. And then in 2022-2023 season, they were knocked out by Manchester City, who then went on, I think, to knock out Real Madrid at the semi-finals before winning the title when they beat Inter Milan by a goal to nil. That goal by Rodri in the finals. And now they will be facing Arsenal. That means 2 English teams for 2 consecutive seasons at the quarter-final stage. So clearly, that is the part of the motivation that these two sides have. When you look at their overall squads, who are the threats in that Bayern Munich side? Like we've already said, if Harry Kane has a good game, Bayern Munich will have a good game. They do have a very experienced goalkeeper in Manuel Neuer. They do have a former Arsenal player in Serge Gnabry. They do have an Eric Dyer, of course, for the rivalry of Tottenham Arsenal. They do have a Jamal Musiala in there. They do have a former Manchester City player in Leroy Sane. And then you add on all the others that would make the composition of that Bayern Munich side on a good day, pound for pound. Those are players that you can rely on to get a decent result against an Arsenal side. But Arsenal are also having a decent season, especially for the second part of the season. They have won 9 games now in 2024. And they've lost, I think, 1. one being their loss to FC Porto. In the Premier League, they've won 8 out of 8, and of course, they did beat FC Porto by 1-0 in normal time, although they needed penalties to edge past Porto for the quarterfinals. And then they've also broken that round of 16 where they were being eliminated at the round of 16 for 7 consecutive times. 3 times against FC Bayern Munich, 2 times against Barcelona, then the other time being against AC Monaco, and then the other being against AC Milan. So clearly, that tells you that they're in a good place. They're pretty excited about this particular fixture because they managed to break that jinxing. Now, because one of those eliminations, or at least 2 of those eliminations, had been on away goals full, a 3-3 aggregate score against Bayern Munich, and another 3-3 aggregate score against AC Monaco. And then there was a 4-3 aggregate score loss to AC Milan. So clearly, this is the kind of that is the kind of spirit in which Arsenal do find themselves in ahead of that particular fixture. In one of those running-ins for Bayern Munich eliminating Arsenal at the round of 16, Mikel Arteta was still in that side. He does have an advantage over manager Thomas Tuchel. I think they met 3 times and he won 2 of those and lost 1 against him. So clearly, there is a silver lining in what seems to be a dark cloud for this Arsenal side as far as this particular draw is concerned. Arsenal fans think now is the time to revenge against Bayern Munich. But is it the perfect time? Well, history says otherwise. The statistics are not on their side. The pedigree is not on their side. Like I said, these sides have met 12 times, Bayern Munich winning 7 of those, Arsenal won just 3, but 3 out of the 7 wins for Bayern Munich were 5-1 wins for Bayern Munich. Home and away at the round of 16 in the 2016-2017 season, they did win that fixture 5-1, home and away. Then 2015-2016 in the group stages, they did beat Arsenal by 5-1 at the Allianz Arena, although Arsenal had won the fixture at the Emirates Stadium by 2-0. Then 2013-2014 at the round of 16, they had beaten Arsenal by 2-0 at the Emirates Stadium before a 1-1 draw that proceeded there on at the Allianz Arena. So that was a 3-1 aggregate score for them. And then 2012-2013, Arsenal beat Bayern Munich 2-0 at the Allianz Arena, but had lost 3-1 at the Emirates Stadium. So aggregate score was 3-3. Arsenal were knocked out the round of 16. Then in 2004-2005 at the round of 16, Arsenal beat Bayern Munich by 1-0 at Highbury at the time, and then lost to Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena by 3-1. And then in 2000-2001 season, Bayern Munich beat up against Arsenal by 1-0, while at the Highbury Stadium, it was a 2-2 draw. So clearly, Arsenal fans, when you look at that history, the pedigree that Bayern Munich has, the current running of things, is it the perfect time for revenge? I do not think so. Is it a very big game? Massive opportunity. Arsenal have the chance. Do they have the squad to knock out Bayern Munich? Absolutely they do. Absolutely. They have everything to get a decent result against Bayern Munich over 2 legs and even knock them out. If anything, like I said, Bayern Munich are having a poor season or a not so good season. So, will the squads be as big? I don't think so. Will it be motivation that when the last time the 2 sides met, Arsenal lost on 10-2 aggregate score? Yes, it will be a huge motivation for the Arsenal fans, for the Arsenal players going into this fixture. But just like I keep saying, everything is a test of time. Let's wait and see what this particular encounter will reveal to us. Over 2 legs, I don't know who will edge it. Form for form, I do think Arsenal have the advantage. Pedigree, it's not an even weighing scale for the two sides. Bayern Munich are way up there. They're in the class of Liverpool, Real Madrid, perhaps Manchester United, in that bracket. The AC Milans of this world, in that bracket, as far as their pedigree is concerned. So, let's wait and see. Just let me know what your thoughts are on this particular tie, whether you do agree with my thoughts or you differ from them. Otherwise, thank you for tuning to the channel. Do not forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that we can grow. Otherwise, it is always nice having you right here on Football Tribe. For the regulars and for those that have watched me for the first time, I do appreciate all the time that you do put in. Have a blessed weekend.